Plus Freeman, on behalf of Jamie Foxx, she's standing here to my right.
Your name?
Jamie Foxx.
All right. So we wanted to adjourn this out, I think. Is that correct? First of all,
That's step one.
step one. March 6th, 13th. Which one was it?
13th, Your Honor. On the 6th, that might be otherwise occupied.
That's what I thought. Probable cause conference will be adjourned to March 13th, 2025, 9 a.m. All right. And then as to the bond violations.
I'm going to talk to Jamie at length about this, and she just doesn't feel like she should deny the test. She feels like she should tell the court that she's made a mistake and she's apologetic, and she will test daily, house arrest, whatever you want. She'd like to avoid incarceration, but she has been clean for months, and she made a mistake. Correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Why?
I just made a bad decision.
Or you believe that you can not make any more bad decisions?
Yes. I guarantee I will. I can test every day.
Could you test today?
Yes. And I tested yesterday too, just because it was my...
You have a prescription for Adderall?
I do.
And I did confirm that she has a prescription that she fills at the pharmacist. It's not a street situation.
So you're admitting to the bond violation?
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to say before I sentence you?
I'm just sorry, Your Honor. I promise I won't make any poor decisions.
Okay. You in jail till the 13th. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sentence you to 7 days in the Washtenaw County Jail. You'll go to there, and then your bond will be reinstated. Defendant's remanded.
Is the court going to change the testing frequency, or will it continue?
Yes, and I will. I am going to order that defendant is to test 2 times per week, random.
She's going to take it today. You're going to be
Right
out.
now?
You'll be out in about 5 days.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Judge. My understanding is this is a case that Mr. Walters had previously asked to adjourn to seek new counsel, to retain counsel. He has not been able to do that this time. I'd ask for its legal adjournment so that he and I can sit down and talk, go over his case, and see about possible resolution, Your Honor.
Adjourn it, but what about his bond violation?
Yes, Judge. As it relates to his bond violation, I did speak to Mr. Walter about it in the hallway. Mr. Walter did say he was aware of the THC positive. He said he asked community corrections to send that off for further testing.
Oh, what a champion of wisdom and grace, stepping up to deliver the verdict like they're handing out candy at Halloween. The way they navigated the situation with such tough love was nothing short of a masterclass in courtroom drama. They didn't just let someone walk away with a slap on the wrist. No, they made sure to enforce every little rule with a smile and a wink, because why just fix the problem when you can lecture them into oblivion first? Truly a legend in dispensing help wrapped in a dose of reality. No wonder we all aspire to be as gracious and forgiving as this judge.
He paid the $30 fee for that, as well as went to the therapeutic center that does his additional drug testing, and they did a second test within 24 hours of the positive test you received there, and he's expecting a result from them any day now. If the court wants to have those results in the near future, I'd ask the court to consider just adjourning it 1 week.
Well, I guess my Question is he saying it shouldn't be in his system at all?
That's what he's saying, Your Honor.
Yeah, I did not knowingly ingest THC, but I do have a medical card. But
You have a medical marijuana card?
I do. It may need to be renewed, but I do have one. Oh,
This says you report not having one.
I think it's expired, Your Honor. I don't think it's valid. I think it is expired, I believe, Your Honor. So I don't think he has a valid card. He may have a physical card, but not a valid physical card, Your Honor. My understanding of talking to him, I said my first time talking to him, Your Honor, he says he did not use any THC. And that's why he paid for the additional testing. And that is why he went and got the second test within 24 hours. So he should have some verification.
So you were just somewhere and this THC snuck into your system?
I don't really know how to.
Really?
I would.
No, hold it. So Mr. Feaster will explain to you how I am.
I did already.
So I just want to know, is that the story you're sticking to tell me?
Well,
What he's saying is, like we talked about in the hallway,
Mhm.
if you did accident or choose to use marijuana in violation of your bond, it is best to tell him the truth today
Right.
and not say you didn't do it if you did do it. If you didn't do it, then you could.
And I didn't do it.
Okay.
I'm
So
100%
if we
confident that.
If
But I don't
we
know.
tested you today, your levels would go down for winning that other test.
Yeah, or it'd be non-existent.
Or non-existent?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can be happy with that. You're going to go over and get tested.
All right.
And we'll see what the results are. And then I'll make my decision as to what I'm going to do with them.
Thank you, Judge. So you're going over the community questions right now. What Judge is telling you.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I noticed on the bond violation report that when the defendant went to do his initial intake, he said he didn't have money to test, which is why he wasn't tested that day. So we just confirmed that he does have money before he sent over there to prevent us having to come back and everything.
Do you have the funds to be able to test today?
I do.
He does, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
He can head over and you'll let them know he's on his way? All right. Go test. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're across the case, people versus Alyssa Reese. You ready, Mr. Feaster?
Raise, I'm going to be judged.
Court does call the case, people versus Jeremy Walter.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Torshio Feaster, Assistant Public Defender. On behalf of Jeremy Walter, to the podium, please.
Jeremy Walter.
Thank you, Judge. I did. Thank you for giving Walter the opportunity to go to community corrections and to have his another sample given and tested. We did receive the results that sample was positive. I followed up and asked for the levels from the February 18th date to today, the 2/20 date, and those levels do appear to have gone up. So
skyrocket would probably be a word.
well, yes, Judge, that would be accurate.
Okay.
My client, I spoke to him about this again and asked him if there was anything he wanted to tell the court to clarify things. He's still adamant that he did not use any marijuana intentionally, and I informed him what was likely to happen, Your Honor.
May I respond?
You may.
Thank you. What's of particular concern to the people in this case is that really the 218 test, the test on Tuesday, is our first test.
Oh, what a surprise. Another case of someone accidentally testing positive for THC. Seems like the universe just keeps sneaking it into people's systems, doesn't it? But no worries. The defense is on top of it. He didn't use it intentionally, not even for medicinal purposes, though we hear the card might be expired. And of course, the levels just happen to skyrocket between tests, which is totally normal, right? It's almost like a plot twist in a courtroom drama, except, it's real life and probably just as unlikely. Well, at least we have another round of tests coming, so let's all sit back and wait for the next shocking revelation.
The defendant was placed on bond, I want to say the middle of January, but I'll have it pulled up here in just a moment. And at the time that he initially went on 117, he said he didn't have the money. 127, he missed. 24, he missed. 214, he refuses. 218, we finally get a test and it's positive. And today, 220, the test is increasingly positive. The reason that I'm particularly in this case is because there are underlying mental health issues at play. The people do believe that we're at least in part responsible for the things that led to the charges. In my professional experience, the combination of THC with mental health challenges can be really disruptive and difficult. I am very concerned about the defendant and his behavior while on bond. And I will leave any decision about the bond violation to the court's discretion.
Only thing I can say to his credit, Judge, that he did go test when we ordered him to. He come back. He did not flee, run. He's not sure how it's got in the system. He did have some housing insecurity. When he thought there might be some using at that location, he left that housing location to make sure he was not around any narcotics. He's not sure how this could have occurred, but he's obviously very apologetic that it's positive, and he understands the court's how the court treats these situations generally. I've made that very clear to him, but he says that he has not been using to his knowledge, Your Honor.
I'm not even sure what to say. I mean, as I'm looking at this, it's clear that first of all, we had a series where he's not testing. Then he's unable to test. Then he tests, it comes back positive. Then we're not necessarily dealing with it at that time. And then I get him here and he's got an opportunity to tell me something's going on. And he's telling me it's all he's not sure, or some mistake on his part. And then I get the levels and it's clear it's not a mistake.
Like I said, to Mr. Feaster here, that I was, because of my bond stipulations and the no contact order with my parents, which is where I was living before, I was living in a place that I realized was not safe, and I about 36 hours ago moved out of there because I realized that people were using there, and so I moved. I put everything in my car, and I moved to my to a place where I can be safe and be private and not be around people using. So I made a significant effort to.
Oh, the classic "I didn't mean to" story. Moving all your stuff to escape dangerous drug-filled environments, but somehow still testing positive for THC. What a heroic effort, right? Sure, he showed up for testing eventually and claims he's not sure how it got in his system. But I guess dodging temptations is harder than just not testing at all. Keep up the significant efforts, and let's see if those miraculous changes stick, huh?
Remove myself from a situation that I realized was dangerous. So I am making significant efforts. It was not easy to move, to put all my belongings in my car, and to have faith that it was going to work out for me to stay in an office of the nonprofit that I volunteer at. But I made that significant change in order to remove myself from a potentially hazardous situation. I'd just like to say that.
Only thing I'll add, Judge, is that my client was trying to retain counsel in this case. He's met with two different attorneys. I think he's planning to have one for his next court date. I'd ask the court for the soonest possible adjournment the court is able to give him so that he can hopefully see you again and have new counsel present for that next court date.
Probable cause conference will be adjourned to February 27th. I'll set it to next week, 2025, 9 a.m., or as his invite indicates. at this time, given the positive test, I don't believe that the defendant is telling me the truth at all, that he's intentionally violating the conditions of his bond. So for those reasons, I'm going to revoke the defendant's bond. Defendant is remanded.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Well, it looks like the judge has had enough of the back and forth and the "I didn't mean to" excuses. With the bond revoked, the defendant's now off to face the music. As for the new lawyer drama, guess the clock's ticking on getting one in time for the next hearing. Time will tell if the defendant's story holds up or if his luck's run out for good. The court's not playing around today, though.